Hello, everybody. Good morning and welcome to OpenCV Weekly. I'm Dr. Satya Malik, CEO of OpenCV. Our guest this week is Paula Ramos, who last appeared on the show 1 year and 50 episodes back as part of OpenCV
hmm
Competition 2021. As part of Team Benchmark, she won the third place in the North American category, and Paula is now an AI evangelist at Intel. We are happy to have been part of Paula's journey and are very excited to welcome her back. But first, with me, as always, is Phil Nelson, who is the Director of Content and Creative at OpenCV. Phil produces the show, and so if anything goes wrong, it's his fault.
That's right. And thank you, Satya. It is I, once again, the co host with the co most, the second banana who is second to none, your plus one and only Phil Nelson, here to remind you of a few things that we do every single week here on OpenCV Weekly. The first of which is a special giveaway to you in the audience. Stay tuned. Later in the show, we'll be asking a trivia question based on the presentation today. If you answer correctly, you will win the OpenCV course of your choosing. A great value there. We'll also take Q&A from you in the audience during the show. Ask your question wherever you're watching: YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn, Zoom. We'll do our best to put it into the flow of conversation, or we've also got time at the end of the episode we've reserved for questions. Thank you once again for joining us. I'm super excited to have Paula back. Back to you, Satya.
Welcome, Paula. It's a pleasure to have you here again, and the show is all yours. Please start with an introduction and then continue with your presentation.
Thank you, Satya. Thank you, Phil, for having me here. I'm
Welcome
so
back.
excited to come back to the show. Just 50 episodes after I was here again. So, and you are doing a great job with this. I mean, by the way,
Thank
50
you.
Thank you.
episodes in a year. So you were missing maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So maybe holidays, no?
Hey, the show must go on, as we like to say.
Right.
So, I mean, for the people that don't know me, my name is Paula Ramos. I am computer vision and machine learning engineer. I was working in agriculture with more than 17 years of experience on that. And I really enjoy, bridge the gap in between technology and users. So my previous users, farmers, agronomists. So right now I have a lot of users around Intel, and I
Mhm.
really want to tell you my journey in AI. I
Awesome.
hope that you can enjoy this as I enjoy my career, and you can
Mhm.
see this an example in how you can rise your career in AI with competitions, with hackathons. These kind of things give you a lot of visibility. This is the point.
Mhm.
That's great.
Sounds good.
And
So
I really like, I mean, you had no experience in AI before this, right? You were working in agriculture, obviously, in a scientific role, but the exposure to AI was very new for you, right, at that time?
not a lot. So I was
Yeah.
working in AI since my beginning at the university when in my
All
in
right.
my
All
in my
right.
college.
Okay.
So when I was studying electronic engineer.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
and I was involved with coffee since the beginning. I want to
Got
show
it.
you my journey today, and you
Mhm.
can see how
That's
how ca- how I was involved in AI since the very beginning.
all right.
Awesome.
So I first of all, I really want to show you where I'm coming from. So maybe you know
Mhm.
Colombia, maybe no. So for the people that don't know Colombia, Colombia is a beautiful country that is in South America, and I will say that is in the upper left corner with
Mm.
we have the Atlantic Ocean and Pacific Ocean. This is a beautiful, beautiful place. Maybe
Mhm.
if you are not familiar with that, so I will say, you know Encanto, the new
Mm.
the new Disney movie. So this
Yes.
is from Colombia.
Okay.
This is
I I went to Colombia right before COVID. I was the keynote speaker for PyCon, Colombia. Medellin is
Awesome.
where
oh
I went.
nice.
It's a beautiful city. It's almost like, I mean, I could not feel the difference between, San Diego and Medellin. Very similar weather, excellent
Yeah,
everything,
exactly.
and the people were so nice. The organizers, they took us to not the touristy things. So we did all the all the non-touristy things. We played. I cannot remember the local games, and
That's
also
awesome.
drank the local beer. I think it's called BBC, as far as I can remember.
BBC, yes,
Yeah,
BBC.
yeah,
Did you eat?
yeah.
Did you eat bandeja paisa?
I ate all the. I don't remember all the names, but I ate. I told me all. Give me all the local stuff, right? Which people. So I.
For sure, for sure. Bandeja paisa is super typical there.
Mm,
Yeah,
You
sounds
know,
awesome.
you
it was
mentioned that
fun.
the people is friendly, the place is beautiful. So, and we are so charmed. We are so
Yeah.
charmed. So I think that the movie was good with the name Encanto. The meaning of that
Right.
is charm, no?
It's
Right.
great.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And did you try coffee, Satya? Did you drink
Yeah,
the
they
coffee
actually
there?
gave me Colombian coffee as a gift when
Mm,
I was returning.
that's awesome.
A packet of very nice Colombian coffee which I brought back home, and it was really nice.
That is
That,
awesome because this is also, I mean, the next part of the story is that I was working for the National Federation of Coffee Growers for 14 years.
Oh,
So, and maybe Juan Valdez. So Juan
yeah,
Valdez is
definitely.
an iconic character that represent, the coffee growers in Colombia. So if you don't know Juan Valdez, remember this movie?
Hmm.
The
yeah.
Bruce Almighty. That he
Hmm.
has a God's powers and something like that. And he was overwhelming with the old players, and he was asking for a coffee. And Juan Valdez was just knocking in his window and just bringing him the best quality coffee.
Hmm.
So in this journey is really good to mention. Yes, you need a coffee. So somebody said that they need a coffee. This is good.
Yeah, can somebody get Richard a coffee out there? He's guy's desperate.
I have my coffee here. I need my coffee all the time.
I'm drinking Colombian coffee right now.
Okay, this is good. So, and coffee in Colombia is pretty important. It's important for you. It's important for me. And you can see, that you need coffee to create your code, to create your AI. But this is also important for coffee growers. And we have more than 565,000 of families
Wow.
supporting, by coffee. And Juan Valdez represent the people there. A lot of jobs coming from the coffee. The population, the 80% of the population depend of coffee, and we have the Colombian corporate area. More or less, the 20% of the area is in coffee. I was working for them. I was working in the National Research Center of Coffee, creating AI, but I had a lot of challenges because the coffee growers, they don't have a lot of money to invest. They
Yeah.
also have their culture that is not just in coffee. It's in, I think, that is in all crops, that they want to apply just the things that they know that are working. So it's difficult to bridge the gap in between the technology and the users in that case. So I had a lot of things to change on that. So low cost systems, easy to use, easy to maintain. So I was working there since 2004, and
Right.
I started creating this machine. It's a sorting coffee machine. The best quality coffee that you are drinking right now is coming from the mature fruits.
Hmm.
But depend of the distribution of the harvest that we have, you can see different kind of raw material, and really really bad quality if you don't have like a sorting process. So for the sorting process, we need to have manual selection. That is I mean, the cost is high. So for that reason, I was thinking, okay, this machine will be great. So, and I was not working alone with that, so I had a lot of people around, the team in the National Coffee Center, in the National Research Center, a lot of students. So this is a project of between 3 and 5 years. It's difficult to brief the project in just one slide. But we have this quality coffee with more or less 90% of accuracy, a model that could select 5 different classes, so in between immature, semi-mature, mature, and over mature. And this machine was a complex machine because we have not just the electronic part, also the mechanical part. And I have a really good story here. So I knew my husband making this project,
Hmm.
and so he was the mechanical engineer behind of this, and it was really good. So right now we have a son, so it was good.
Nice.
So and this is it was great because I needed to simplify the process, the machine learning process, so to classify that in a really really fast way. So I was working with a DSPIC 16-bit microcontroller,
Hmm.
just using assembler, for example. It was
Right.
difficult, this is like a low level of code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, but was great because we have this conveyor belt with coffee, and that was working more or less 50 fruits per second. 50 fruits per second with a low cost machine. That is just, I mean, the cost of the machine is more or less, or was more or less $10,000, but the
Mm.
cost of the electronic part was more or less $200.
Mm.
And you don't need a computer, so just just playing the putting the fruits there, and had an auto calibration, so these kind of things. That
Yeah.
was
It's
really really cool.
talk about Edge AI. This is it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was in
And
2004,
this
to talk
is
about
Yeah.
edge
this is all
computing.
before deep learning came through. This is 2004, which
2004, you
is
said? Yeah.
very hard.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very difficult to do that. In that kind of hardware and at that time, because things were evolving at that time. OpenCV was only 4 years old.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's true. That's true. And also, imagine I was in Colombia just trying to bring this kind of different kind of technology. So we have a lot of issues to have the technology. It's not like you have Amazon and you can buy the things right now and just have the things in two
Yeah.
days. I
Yeah,
was
even
waiting for
sourcing the
parts
hardware.
months.
Yeah.
Yes, for months.
Wow.
So, and I also was using sample sensors from different companies, just
Hmm.
asking for samples. And okay, that was a great experience. But I was touching different sectors of the coffee at that time. So the next one was I create a robotic arm. Is just to help the pickers um, select the good coffee. So
Mm.
we were talking about good quality coffee. That good quality coffee could come from the manual harvesting, but also we could have the idea, and this is more like a dream. Try to put the robot in the coffee crop. It's
Mm.
difficult
Hmm.
because we have a high distribution. You have a tree, and next one, I mean, just 70 centimeters, you have another tree. It's difficult to have a machine because we have a hills, a lot of mountains, and
Hmm.
that is
Yeah,
not
the
possible to.
terrain is not easy. Even today, I think any extant robot would have a difficult time in a lot of these places, right?
Exactly. and
Yeah.
and do you know this camera, the CMU, the Carnegie Mellon University create a camera,
Mm.
CMU. So they have
Yep.
different versions. The one, two, three. I think I was using the number one, and I put the camera there. So maybe you can see in the image that I put the camera there, and I have different versions. So the version that you can see in the image is like a version that is two cameras
Mm.
rounding the branch, taking images, and just with machine learning. I mean, machine learning using the CC3 library that camera had, just to identify those sectors that they with the actuators and motors needs to activate. I will show you how this is working. I have a short video.
Cool.
So this is one with
Excellent.
one actuator. So for example, there is a green coffee and it's not activated,
Mm.
and with this red coffee, or mature and over mature, was working. And the another version that was with one actuator, and another version was with two actuators. And let me see, I can see the next one slide. Yes. So with three actuators, two cameras, and that was really cool. I mean, to have try to keep the green coffee on the branches and just harvest the mature fruits is a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow, that's
That's
really
awesome.
nice.
so, and that also inspired me to create the proposal for my doctoral thesis. So I made my doctoral studies were in engineering. So I was working on that, and basically, when you think about the farmers and you think about that you need to bridge the gap with the technology, and you say, okay, all of them, they have a cell phone. They can use a cell phone. I don't need to say you need to buy this technology, you need to buy this hardware, because it's also difficult to maintain that. So, but a cell phone is a great opportunity to apply technology. So, in my doctoral thesis was this. So, estimate the yield using a cell phone, taking videos or images, still images over the branch, and just trying to find the count the number of fruits and estimate the yield with the number of fruits. So, in this case, you can see a video there with the 3D stuff. So, that was instruction for motion, more related with image processing. That was poor image processing. And I also were applying machine learning. I applying different kind of support vector machine, for example, random forest, uh, different kind of things. And you will see that I have the point cloud, and I need to create like a filter to eliminate, the outlines. And then you can see that also I was applying, removing the background of that, and just the background extraction, and you applying different kind of techniques. I was able to create a system to detect the curvatures of the fruits. And also, with this, can you see this? This is the ground
Yep.
truth information. To create this branch, I needed to annotate thousands of images.
Mm.
That was a
Mm.
real pain. I need to create my own annotation system. I was working on that. I think that I was working on that 9 months, create my
Oof.
own annotation system and
Wow.
annotating that, because I needed to create, the proper information of the images. So to create this kind of 3D stuff.
Hmm.
Eh, and it's also, I also needed to put this in a balance. So because I have a 3D that is great with ransom segmentation, I could extract the fruits and see where the fruits are. Try to measure also try to measure the metrics there to estimate the mass and estimate the yield. So I could get the geometric model for each fruit. But that was, I mean, if I'm thinking about the computing part, that was a lot of things to do in a server. And it was
Hmm.
difficult to the farmers then send those images to the server. So I needed to make a decision here. I really want to bridge the gap with the farmers, so I need to apply something on the cell phone. In that case, I was thinking I need to apply 2D instead of 3D. So the 2D was running on the cell phone, and that was, a different kind of approach, just trying to find the arcs on the fruits, try to find the overlapping fruits and estimate the yield, just counting the fruits in one view. So
Hmm.
I had two approaches, but I will say I had a lot of challenges. I really enjoyed the work with the farmers, with
Mm.
the agronomist, and try to bridge the gap for me is something that I made in the past. Is something that I really want to do that, and I was enjoying to have this. So I have right now 5 patents related with coffee. I have more than 25 art papers related with that, and I'm so
Wow.
proud of the things that I made. And
You
also
Yeah.
should
talk
be.
with.
You should be
This is
proud.
Go ahead.
awesome. This
Yeah.
is really awesome. I mean, the fact that you actually worked with all the people directly, the farmers directly, and you are so close to real world.
Hmm.
It is awesome. It's really impactful.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Satya. I don't know if maybe these slides answer your question about AI in the past.
Hmm.
That was really
Yes.
tricky for me, but I was involved in AI for sure. I was involved
Yeah.
in computer vision, AI. I was using
So,
OpenCV there. I was excited about OpenCV in Colombia, just working in my
so
in my
whenever
office.
whenever I talked to you in the past, right, you had shown such mastery over all the biological things that you were working on the plants and things like that, that somehow I assumed that, okay, you have a background in all the biological stuff. And so that was my, uh, mistake in assuming, because just
No,
because you have mastery over biology doesn't mean that, oh, you did not have a great background in AI. This is awesome stuff.
Yeah.
no, thank you, Satya. Thank you. I
Satya
think that.
Satya is just confused because he's used to hanging out with me and I don't know shit.
No, that's not true. That's not true. uh, you know
uh,
uh, Yeah, I mean, what Phil brings to the table, a lot of people do not realize is that Phil has a background in as a as a software engineer, and he
Yeah.
can run. He can do the creative part, but he can also code. So that's something pretty unusual.
I guess I think that you working 17 years in agriculture, you need to have a little bit from the agronomists, the physiologists, the biologists, a lot
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
things. I mean, my master was in electrical engineer, by the way.
Mm,
yeah,
So, and
that's awesome.
I just trying to connect different kind of dots. I was more like a hardware person. So
yeah.
I mean, until my master, in my doctoral thesis I was like a more software. So
Hmm.
right now in my life I just try to balance the thing in between hardware and software, and for that reason I really enjoy the work right now at Intel, because
Yeah,
we
it seems
have
unique. I mean, it's like the perfect place for you. It seems like right now. It's like,
yes, you are totally right, I was thinking that, yes.
yeah, it's awesome.
So and I was so comfortable at that moment of my life. I really, okay, I really want to do a lot of things. I have in my mind a lot of things to do, but the life changed and you never know when or how. And my husband was transferred to the US, and okay, we need the family first, family first. I just put the things, or we put the things in our baggage and say, okay, I want to do more agricultural stuff with engineer. I put my hopes in my baggage. I put my dreams there, but also the family first. So this is also the thing that happens all the time. And I don't want to say that it's harder for woman or man. I
Hmm.
mean, but normally the woman is in this position that the family is first, and you need to follow, you need to
Hmm.
mm, and also was a great opportunity for me, I mean, to me it was a great opportunity, you see.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe
and
I can
you're
find
absolutely
something.
right, Paul. I mean, there's societal expectations on you as a woman that men do not have, and it's totally reasonable to call that out and mention it. Uh, it's harmful to pretend that's not the case. I feel so. Yeah.
Yes, no, it's also something that if I have a great opportunity, I know that my husband will follow with me. I mean, I know that it's not because I'm woman or man. I mean, it's the opportunity that he had, and I think that, okay, we can go there and family first, and we can see what happened. But I was totally blind when I arrived here to the US,
Mm,
because we have a lot of things in our baggage, dreams and hopes, but we don't know anyone here.
mm,
So, and that was something, um, difficult. I remember that I was in a party, in a Christmas party, those like 20 days before, after we arrived, and I knew Edgar Lobaton, a professor here, and when I just wanted to bring this slide, because okay, you can see, is the glass half empty or half full? you know I'm
yeah.
always prefer to see the half full part,
Mm,
and I want to see the light and be positive that the things will come pretty well. And that was my case. In this Christmas party, I met with Edgar Lobaton.
mm,
So he is a associate professor, and I was talking with him, just talking about the things that I was making in Colombia, that I was looking for opportunities. Unfortunately, he didn't have a space for a postdoc or something like that, and he told me, "You can work with me, but as unpaid employee." Say,
mhm,
okay, I can do that.
mm,
That was my opportunity, and this is the way that I have to show the things that I could do. And I started working with him, and I worked with him for 4 months, and then he helped me to bring my CV, my curriculum, to these guys,
mm,
Chris River Horton and Stephen Mirsky, that you know these guys,
mhm.
and they are the
Definitely.
directors of Precision Sustainable Agriculture Project. And I started working with them, and that was a great journey. I was working in agriculture again, applying the things that I knew. I mean, with more things, so deep learning, that was so exciting to apply deep learning in this case. All of resources that I could have, because I didn't have restrictions or constraints related that as I had in Colombia. And I make grade three. I mean, I will say I was working in 5 projects, but I will show you 3 results for this. So the first one was the stress camp. So the stress camp was a great project. It's a Raspberry Pi camera with a Raspberry Pi Zero there.
Hmm.
The idea with this project was to create like an edge device to work in the field, just in the field. You know, in the field we have a lot of restrictions and constraints. We don't have a good signal. I mean, the
Hmm.
communication is terrible. So if you want to process something in the cloud, it's difficult. So you need to have all things in one single piece. Again, the low cost. The cost is important. I mean, the same problems that I saw in Colombia are the same problems that the agriculture has here in the US, even if we have all resources. And that need to be easy to use and easy to maintain. So 3 things: low cost, easy to maintain, easy to um, easy to use, easy to maintain, and low cost. So the point here is this camera needed to support high temperatures during the summer, more than
Hmm.
100 Fahrenheit. That was
That's
a lot
that's hot.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
hardware.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So the first round was terrible. I saw. I mean, obviously also we have a big team. It's no, I was not just me. So we were working on that, and we saw that the more than the half of the cameras were down because of the temperature. So the next year I was making some improvements in the hardware part with my hardware background, and include some sensors and also the mechanical design that also bring to me with the experience that I have with the machines that I made in Colombia. Also, my husband was helping me with that.
Hmm.
And we have this great project, and it also was a great project to integrate a community. And about communities, it's difficult to bring the community to a single thing, but this was
True.
great because we put a lot of students working in that. So we create a challenge in the electrical and computer engineer department. So
Hmm.
to create a model to detect the draw when the when the water stress is coming to the field. So
Hmm.
in soybean, for example, you can see the water stress is coming where the leaves are flipping. And you
Hmm.
see here, for example, that we have like a label number 1, no stress, no water stress. And label number 1 and number 2, we say like a middle stress. But the label 4, I mean, it's almost dry, super dry.
Right.
So
And
they're
just
they're wilting basically. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
exactly, the wilting.
Hmm.
So the point here is that that was a great opportunity to connect with different departments around the project Precision Sustainable Agriculture, and connecting with another teams around not only the university. So we were working also with Microsoft and IBM. So I love to connect dots, and that was a great
Yeah.
opportunity to me.
So one of the things, Paula, you tell me if this is true. In the US, because the farms are so large, the need for automation is even more than in countries like in India. The
Mm.
farms are much smaller compared to this, so people can, actually go and check. But here, a single farmer, or a small family of, they have a very large farm, so it almost becomes a necessity. Automation almost becomes a necessity. It is no longer a luxury, right?
That is totally true. That is
Mm.
totally true. So here also you can find more resources, and the farmers, even if they have their culture, they are more open to adopt. And this is
Yeah.
this
Mm.
is also that is also great. The automation here is necessary. Maybe you can think about this camera, just a pole camera in the field,
Yeah.
and maybe you will say, okay, maybe I can put this camera in a drone because I need to cover like large areas, and this is also true. But in the case that you will see these kind of cameras, that maybe you need to identify some regions. You need to identify all, you don't need to cover that, because it's just try to make decisions over that specific area will be something that you can interpolate to the rest of the area, because maybe you
Hmm.
have the same soil, you have the
Yeah.
same variety of the crop, so you can replicate that, you can interpolate that. But here is another point. It's a important point. The IoT is great. IoT devices and the edge computing. But also you need to think about the constraints that you have in the field. So we don't have a lot of towers in the rural areas. We don't have a lot of cellular towers. So I was trying to connect the stress cam with different kind of in 2G, 3G, LTE, and
Hmm.
I have a lot of restrictions. And I was working with Microsoft in a project. They call it that project FarmBits. I don't know. Did you hear about that? I don't know.
I don't think I know
I
that
have
one.
not heard about it.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, that was an amazing project where they wanted to use TV white spaces. So in the spectrum of TV, you have some spaces that are not used. So you can mount the signal there and create like a WLAN internally in the field,
Hmm.
and just transmit that to the farm. In the farm, you can have a Ethernet connection and just transmit that to the cloud. And that was
Nice.
a great solution. And I mean, my the latest thing that I made at the university before to start at Intel was working in the TV white spaces, the stress camera version for TV white spaces. That was also great to see how the potential of this, low cost device as the Raspberry Pi is. You can make great things. And I think that always, and this is a message for developers and the people that is watching this live, is what kind of things you can do is not just the things that you can make in a big server or something like that. Something that the people could apply, because we need to close this gap. We need to bridge the gap, and
Hmm.
the way to bridge the gap is just use the proper technology that they can replicate the things. And I think that this is a great a good message that I want to bring to the people today.
Hmm. Absolutely.
So continue with the work. I mean, the second project that I made is also related with part of my doctoral thesis. So I wanted to apply the things that I made with coffee and see what happened with weeds.
Hmm.
So, in the weed scientists, they really want to see what kind of weeds they have, how big the weeds are, because they need to apply the strategic to control the weeds.
Hmm.
So, and I was creating this project that was after the pandemic. I was working at home and try to test so different cameras. I was testing a GoPro, I was testing the Intel RealSense camera, I was testing different cameras around, also the Raspberry Pi camera. So at this moment I didn't know about Luxonics. I think that Luxonics was not in the market at this point.
Yeah.
And I create a project with the GoPro camera, a tablet, an Android app, talking with the camera and creating videos on the field. Just after the user take the videos, upload the videos to the cloud and a server, and in the server we are running just cloud computing to create this 3D reconstruction. And that was a great project. So before I left the university, I know that they have 50 teams that they wanted to work with this technology to estimate the biomass of the weeds and so on. But during that journey of the GoPro, Luxonics and the OpenCV competition, the first one, the 2020,
Hmm.
I saw that because I was following all things in OpenCV, and I saw
Hmm.
that, okay, I really want to see what happened with this camera, because I can create, use the stereo camera, just improve the embedded system, have still images, and with the depth analysis, I can estimate the biomass of the
Hmm.
weeds. Okay, that was great. I was talking with Chris and Steven, and they say, okay, you have green light, so you can move forward. And I start with that, and we have this. We are starting working with you guys
Hmm.
in the first special AI competition in 2020.
Hmm.
So I remember that I received a camera that was not this camera, the camera that the normal camera, the OD camera. That was no, that was the one that is flexible, that you need to organize and set up
Yeah.
the stereo baseline. So,
Yeah,
and
that was
I
the bring your own camera one, right? You could put the it had the ribbon cables. Was that how?
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly,
Mhm.
Yeah, so there
exactly.
is a version of OAK-D. You can use that camera if you want to change the baseline. So it doesn't
Mhm.
come with the casing or anything. But if you want to create a product where you want to change the baseline of the camera, you could have that version of the OAK-D camera, and it's great for people who are trying to create new products. They have different needs than what OAK-D comes out of the box for, and
Mhm.
that's the one you guys had asked us to ship. Well, the people who had participated in the competition had the option of choosing either the regular camera, the regular OAK-D, or a modified version of OAK-D, and your team chose the other one,
Mhm.
right?
Yes. So
Yeah,
that was, a search that I made, just looking at the documentation of Luxonics and so on. That what kind of things I could do with that camera. So we needed to walk through the field, and we needed to put the camera so tall. If I was using the normal OD camera, but I needed to put the camera a little close to the field. So for that reason, I was selecting this version, and I was just designing the stereo baseline and
yeah.
just making the 3D printing. So at the beginning, we have just four teams. So for that reason, I create these four versions. We have some issues. So we were debugging the camera with Brandon and the Brandon's team, Luxonics team. That was a great opportunity to incorporate the to that community also, because they have a big community supporting the OD camera. So we were
Yeah,
there
big
working with.
shout out to the support crew at Lexanis. They are always on the ball. We're super lucky to have all of them because they save our asses all the time.
They were amazing with us because we
Yeah.
have a lot of issues. So I was, I think that I was also putting there in the border of things, and new challenges with the data collection part, so the
Hmm.
synchronization part in between the RGB camera and the depth camera. But at the end, we were doing a great job, and also I had a lot of support for the team. Not only the people that were working there, we were four. I mean, four engineers working on that, but we have a lot of technicians working with us, helping us to harvest the biomass in the yield in the field, just to estimate the biomass. So, and I just include all people there. I remember that at the end of the submission, so I just, when I needed to send the results, I put 10 people there,
Yeah.
and I received a message from you. Do you remember that message?
As far as I
Yeah.
remember, 10 people were not allowed, so that must have been a
Ah,
disqualification. As far as I
Yes.
remember,
So
we could
we were
not
the
qualify
qualif.
you. Yeah.
Yes, that was so sad for me. That was so sad for the team. But you gave us the honor. I mean, the honor to be
We
in your
mentioned
blog.
in the blog post that this was a good submission,
mhm.
but we could not judge it because of this reason that there were supposed to be four people, but there were actually 10 people on the team.
Well,
So
and
unfortunately, we had to disqualify.
but that actually led to a rule change in the
Yeah.
subsequent competition where university teams could have more people, right?
Yes. So we
So,
changed the
hey,
rule. We had,
yeah.
and we understood this, right? With a lot of university team, there's a lot of collaboration across
Hmm.
departments, and we want to encourage that, right? I mean, competition is one thing. It's not just about, oh, who won or who lost. We want this thing to be a spark that lights a fire, right? For innovation, collaboration, etc. So competition is just, it's a gimmick that we play to achieve something bigger, right? And that is why we changed the rule for the next competition, where we had separate university teams and regular teams. For university teams, we had this additional, okay, you can go up to 10 people in the
Hmm.
competition.
That was amazing. That was, I mean, amazing the experience to write. I mean, to write the blog with you guys. That was a great thing that because we have this product, and I know that the team and I was so proud of that, and and that was also inspiring you to create, a different rule. That was great. And that is the next part of the story that we also submit again, the
Hmm.
proposal in the next competition that was 2021, that we were winners. So the bench botics, so the team was called the bench botics, and I designed this bench bot. So this is like a frame that could move through the bench in the greenhouses, with a camera that is moving also back and forward and just taking images. In this case, we made decision about that because it was difficult to put the camera in outdoor conditions because we have a lot of issues with the data collection part. So we needed to have like a more controlled conditions. And for that reason, we moved to the greenhouse. But also, we have a lot of issues there because there was a high radiation, high temperature, high humidity. So we have, even
Yeah.
if we have some controlled conditions, that was also difficult to get that.
Yeah, I can imagine
Mm,
the humidity being a serious problem with all this hardware,
yeah. So
especially.
in this case, also we were using the camera that we modified the stereo baseline, and also we have a lot of collaboration with the agronomist team. So we have teams
Mm.
in the USDA, in North Carolina State University, so preparing the seeds, because in this case we wanted to see different kind of species of weeds. So we have clover, broadleaves, and grasses, and we were working together with people in Denmark, people in Texas, in Maryland, in North Carolina. So we have we were working there, 10 people in this case totally,
Hmm.
and that was a great effort. And I also want to highlight something related with competitions here. So if you have an idea, you need to spend maybe 1 year to see this idea, like something real, the reality of this idea.
Mm.
But with the competition, you speed up that. You should speed up
Yeah.
that. It's just maybe 3 months or 4 months, whatever. But see this kind of results in 3 months. I would say this is amazing. This
There's
is
there's an
the
old
unique
there's an
thing
old
that you have.
saying which, yeah, absolutely incredible for that much work getting done in that small amount of time. There's another old saying that I'm particularly fond of, which is you tend to run a lot faster if something's chasing you.
That's right. Uh, I also want to add one more thing, a personal story also. So when there are two things. First of all, when you are working at the intersection of two different fields like agriculture and AI, it is wonderful, right? Because you can be
Hmm.
the top person in that field. Uh, you know, being if you want to be a top person in AI, it is extremely tough, right? Because there are people who have been working on this for 30 years. They know what they are doing, and they are extremely good at what they are doing. They have teams of people, and it's very difficult to be the top in the people who are doing pure agricultural research because they have been doing this for 20 years. Same reasons, right? But if you combine the two fields, you're working at the intersection of two fields, then there are not very many people there. You could be the top. And my personal story
You
here
become
was
the
that when
expert. Yeah.
you become the expert. Yeah. There was this competition called for cryo-electron microscopy. They wanted to detect protein macromolecules in micrographs,
Mm.
and I participated in that competition. And I did not even make an excuse, right? I literally took the Viola and Jones phase detector, which was implemented in OpenCV, but at that time OpenCV was not that famous, so I implemented it from scratch. But I used the same algorithm, and I applied it to cryo-electron micrographs, right? And I participated in this competition. For some reason, the organizers decided to give everybody a prize, which I hated, right? Because it was I thought I was participating in a real competition, but they said, oh, everybody gets a prize, which is fine. But
That's funny.
what they did do was all the participants who had participated in that competition, there was a special issue of Journal of Structural Biology,
Mm.
and they asked me to actually take the cover of the journal issue, right? So I feel that I actually won, but they had decided to give everybody a
How,
prize.
how have I never seen this cover?
I'll show it
We
next
gotta
time.
track this
Next time
down. Yeah.
I'll bring it next time. So I got
That
this
is
Okay.
cover
interesting.
of Journal of Structural Biology, and I was a grad student. I think second or third year grad student. I was not the best computer vision person. I was not the best biologist, but because I was working at the intersection of the two things, that made it to the cover of Journal of Structural Biology, right? So that's an
Synergy is a
important
very
thing.
powerful. Hmm.
Yeah, and
It's also
Steve,
it's also important because you need to find the way to have real use cases. I think that
yeah,
you need to define, you need to, I will say, you need to touch ground with
yeah,
what kind of things the end users need with that.
yeah,
And I think that this is the best way to scale AI right now. You need to show
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Put another way, people need to touch grass. Please, everyone
Well,
out there, touch some grass.
so Steve Jobs also said, right? I mean, if you're working at the intersection of computing and art and computer
The
science,
arts. Yeah.
yeah, then you have an edge over others, and the same thing applies for AI today. And I recently heard this beautiful saying or beautiful thought: what math is to physics, that to do physics you need math. The same thing applies to AI and biology, right? Biological fields and agriculture is also part of that, because it will change biology and related areas uh,
Hmm.
in a way that others, you need that knowledge of AI, you need that understanding of AI to make an impact in that field. And we have seen that in protein folding, the best, the algorithm that, AlphaFold, the algorithm that actually solved protein folding came from the AI community.
It's wild. Yeah.
That is awesome. I think that is also inspired us to create a hackathon at the university. So create a hackathon 2021
Hmm.
Yeah.
with the benchbot. So I want to show you. So we have some
Hmm.
students around, the benchbot. So try to replicate the things that we made with the OT camera. So we have also some prizes. So we have also some OT cameras to them. So create the kits for them. So what kind of things they need to use. And I was so excited to participate on that. So the team was making a great job with that. And I think that in these kind of things, we are also because Satya is talking about the intersection. So I think that also the departments at the university they need to work together on that. So that was a great example. So crop and soil science working with the electrical and computer engineering department. That was great. And also, these things, I mean, the competition, the visibility with the benchbot, and the visibility with the stress cam, and the with 3D thing that I was doing, that will also give me the possibility to be in Forbes. So I was in Forbes, and that was okay. I was so excited with that. So journalist covered the story that I have as a Colombian researcher working in in North Carolina State University, working for farmers, and also try to show the benchbot to the world, and that was really really good. I
Wow.
think that this thing that doesn't didn't call the attention to Intel. So because Intel contacted me before of this, but that was also great to see that, and I was so proud of okay, I'm Latin woman working in AI. So if I can do that, all people can do that. If
but
I
but
can
I
work in
like what you
AI, all
said.
people can work in AI. Go ahead,
So
Satya.
one other thing that you said is very is remarkable, that Intel contacted you, right? You did not apply for the job. Intel contacted you because they saw this. They saw you doing this. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. I didn't
Awesome.
apply. I didn't apply. I was so comfortable with the job at the university. I'm so
Yeah.
happy. I was so happy making the things there. So and I received a call and say, "You want to apply? We have this role." When I saw that, I have a lot of doubts because I was I have I have been a researcher all my life. So what is AI evangelist? What is the meaning of that? So for me, it was so tricky to see that. But that was also great to see that the AI evangelist is making the same thing that I was doing in the past. Trying to
Hmm.
bridge the gap between users and
Exactly.
technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say I was working for agriculture, but right now I'm working for different sectors, and I'm also so
Hmm.
excited to see how can I improve, the manufacturing, the industry, the retail, the healthcare, because I with the things that I'm doing, I can touch different sectors, and that is amazing. Agriculture is difficult for sure. If I can do something in agriculture, I can do a lot of stuff in the rest of the verticals.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. And
It's
how
amazing.
how did the Forbes article come about? I mean, they just contacted you, looking at all the buzz that was being created. How did that happen?
They contact me. They contact me. I mean, that was almost before I left the university. So I was so happy. So the university was so happy, and then I need to say goodbye. But yes, they contact me. Doing we I just sent. I have a short conversation with the journalist and show him the things that I was doing. Also, he was looking the LinkedIn that I had, my LinkedIn, and
Hmm.
with the a lot of stuff. I try to put all my CV and curriculum, papers, certifications, experience there. And I also try to be so active in LinkedIn. So, and yes, they contact me.
That's great.
So,
That's
It's
great.
always
I
easier
mean,
if you can make them come to you.
yeah, yeah. That's they say that, uh, be so good they can't ignore you, right?
Yeah, right.
So
Become
that's a
undeniable. Yeah.
no, yeah, that happens, right? I mean, uh, even my consulting business, I have never ever gone out looking for work. It has always come to us because we write blog posts and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So it is always true, right? I mean, if you do really awesome work, but you have to put yourself out there, you have to promote yourself on social media, etc. Put your work out there so people have a chance to see you. They're not going to discover you by going through your GitHub repository. You have to do some proactive things on LinkedIn, etc., and show your work out there, put your work out there in public, and then people will find you.
Yeah,
yes, that
definitely.
is that's true. That's true. So I think that this is also something that I want to do. I know that you need to create your own brand. I mean, this is the thing that you are talking about, Satya. So you
Yeah,
need to create
yeah.
your own brand, and my brand is I really want to bridge the gap in between user and technology. I really want to see
Hmm.
how more women are working in AI, how more minorities are working in AI. I know that we have a lot of people, smart people around, but I think that also the AI is a simple thing that we can improve every single day, and applying the things that we have, software, hardware. And if you have a good idea, you can apply AI. Why not? What is your limitation? I think that we don't have limitation. The limitations are here in your mind.
Mm. Hmm.
So no, and this is also part of my journey. So when you say that this I mean, there is a phrase that is success is a journey, not a destination.
Yes,
The,
indeed.
the doing is often more important than the outcome.
Hmm.
And I really enjoy my journey. I really enjoy the path when I travel. The destination is great, and to have the Forbes is great, but I really enjoy to do the things before Forbes. You know what I mean? The competition was great. The prize was amazing, but I really enjoy the things that I was doing there. That is my point.
Yeah,
That's
that's
really great.
a great sentiment. I really appreciate that.
So starting the new adventure at Intel, I really want to. You have some minutes left, so maybe I don't
Yeah.
have enough time
So
to
we'll
cover this.
we'll we'll pause here to do our giveaway, and then come back. And I know you got at least that video we want to watch from Intel Geti, which is this blockbuster announcement from Intel just last week. So we'll do our giveaway here first, and then we'll let you. If you have time, Paula, we'll do that video after
Yes,
that. How's that sound? Good.
sounds great.
Awesome. So, folks out there watching, if this is your first time joining us, or if you just need a little reminder, one of the things we do every single week here on OpenCV Weekly is a giveaway to you in the audience. If you've been paying attention, you now have the chance to win the OpenCV course of your choosing. The first person to answer the trivia question I'm about to ask in the Zoom chat window will win that course. Now, if you've won in the last 2 months, please do not answer and give someone else a chance to win. We like to spread the knowledge out around here. This one is actually going to be a two-parter. First part, you have to answer both questions correctly. First part, earlier in the presentation, we had a conversation about a certain famous cultural figure in Colombia, a coffee man, if you will. What was that person's name? And second, what was the name of the university that Paula was using the camera of to begin with before Oak? Got to answer both. Oh man, folks are getting some of it, but not all of it. Got to answer both, folks.
Close.
Close. Like you. Hey, there we go.
Okay,
I see.
somebody got it.
Rhythm Patel. Rhythm Patel, which is a kick-ass name, by the way. The answer is we were looking for Juan Valdez and CMU. Juan Valdez and CMU. Rhythm, please send one email to phil@opencv.org with the course you would like, and we'll make sure that you get access to that in the OpenCV courses system. Next, Paula, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this video here.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Can we, operator, can we go ahead and put that on the overlay? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, awesome. Okay, here we go.
We may
Coffee
not get
production
audio
is
in
a
Zoom,
$400 billion
folks, but
industry
we'll hear it
with
elsewhere.
close to 40% of costs coming from labor management. Coffee growers continually make decisions about labor management based on manual assessment during harvesting. Specialized AI can help them assess the ripeness of their coffee fruits and make data-driven decisions for how many workers
really
will be needed for the
production
harvest
work.
at one time. But there is a problem.
Very
Most
impressive.
computer vision AI models fail from being overcomplex, expensive, and not allowing for cross-collaboration, forcing teams to work in silos. What if these farmers and agronomists had access to a simpler, more cost-effective AI development interface to participate in the process? Introducing Intel Geti platform, which makes computer vision AI development more accessible by enabling teams to easily build various types of computer vision models, from detection and classification to segmentation and anomaly detection. It also enables the team to work together, the domain experts, data scientists, machine learning professionals, and also developers, to avoid the siloed teams to be more effective. In this specific use case, it makes sense to build an instant segmentation model to help farmers count their ripe fruits and predict their yield. Intel's Geti makes it easy for agronomists and data scientists to work together and identify ripe fruits starting with just 10 to 20 images, not the tens of thousands typically required to train AI models. Intel Geti is a breakthrough in the industry because you are creating computer vision workflow faster. In one single platform, you have all things together to create your prototype model. Domain experts, farmers, and agronomists can use smart annotation features for drawing boundaries and assigning labels to the fruits. The model starts training once the initial annotation required have been submitted. Once the model training is ready, the model could create the annotation by itself. Additionally, experts could use active learning and AI-assisted annotation features that help them provide feedback to the model's predictions to improve the model's quality. Following the quality criteria for each use case, Intel Geti offers a dashboard to help the team determine when the model is ready for deployment across compatible Intel hardware. The actionable insights from such a model can help coffee growers make decisions, plan their harvest, and ultimately improve their bottom line. All industries right now are using AI. Agriculture, healthcare, smart cities, manufacturing, all people need AI. With Intel Geti, you can empower your teams to solve computer vision AI across industries in a simpler, cost-effective, and more collaborative way, just like our agronomist friend.
Super cool, very impressive.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, did you
Gosh.
like it?
So,
So, I mean, Intel Geti is an amazing tool. It's something that we need to talk in the future here in this show. But is
Agreed.
in my experience, working in AI, try to bridge the gap with different kind of technologies. Intel Geti is one of the tools that could help with that.
so you're
So
leading Intel Geti effort. Tell us a little bit. I mean, I know that it's not public yet, but 30
Hmm.
seconds, 30 seconds of uh, information about Intel Geti, what it is, and when can we expect it to be released in the public domain?
we have Intel Geti. I mean, in short words, Intel Geti enables rapid deployment of computer vision models, and it's a platform that brings all things together. So if we are talking about data management, annotation, training, if you have, you need to export your code for the production, you also have the possibility to export the code. But if you have some changes, you can also retrain using the platform. So we will see this coming soon. Right now, for this quarter, is available for selected partners.
Hmm.
So we will see that for soon for the rest of the world.
That's
Awesome.
great. And I also read, this is public information, so I can say that. I also read that this will also have collaboration tools where people who are not into AI, in any project, right, there are people who are developing the models, but there are other stakeholders who are not necessarily technical. They will also have, there will be communication channels for people who are not technical in that tool as well. Is that correct? Or
Yes, that is correct.
okay.
That is one of the key features that we have. So the collaboration part is important. So you have the domain experts with the knowledge. They can annotate the things, but unfortunately, right now you don't have a specific platform to put the domain expert in a good position with AI. So they need to have like a technical experience to do that. In this case, they need just to use the smart annotation features that we have, the AI assisted annotation part. So we are covering a lot of things to and provide a tool to different kind of features to help the domain experts and subject matter experts to be involved in the AI development process. So, and that, I think that this is remarkable.
Yeah.
That's
Something that
great.
is also great, and I really want to mention that. So is you can build with Intel Geti. So in different kind of hardware. So virtual machines on-prem cloud VM, but also you can deploy with OpenVINO. So and this is great that you have the model ready for production with Intel Geti, and you can deploy in different kind of hardware with OpenVINO.
Wow.
That's
Sounds like
great.
a
That's great.
if
full
you
full
if you
stack.
want, if you want to know more about that, I just invite you to visit the web page, getty.intel.com, scan the QR code, and that was also a great experience for me in my personal career, just be involved in this journey. I know that we don't have enough time, but I really invite you to visit my LinkedIn. So just
Hmm.
reach out to me as Paula Ramos. I have like a red sweater. You can see my picture with the red sweater there,
Hmm.
and you can see this story around the keynote. I was involved in the keynote in the just making trying to create the story around the coffee, how we can show in 3 minutes how Intel Geti is working. So also you can rewatch the keynote. That was great. So Pat Gisenberg was making a great job with that. Yanis Katramados and Ria Cheburu. And we were behind the scenes, but it was so great to meet the CEO of this company. That was a
Yeah.
part of my journey right now.
Yeah, I think I
No,
so I saw you later that evening, right at the developer meetup. Wasn't that the same day?
that was the same day. Yes, that was the
Wow.
same day. So this was the day -1.
Hmm.
The day zero was a hackathon that was great to involve with more than 100 people
Hmm.
around different kind
Wow.
of tracks in computer vision, machine learning, natural language processing. I was a mentor there. I was not part of the organizer. The organizer made a great job. I was part of the mentoring team. And this is Phil. So you are here, Phil.
That's me.
Yes.
Oh,
And
he's
we
in
are, no,
3D.
That's right.
Yes, it's in 3D, interactive, no? That was
In living
amazing.
color.
Seven cameras
Uh,
taking this video. That was amazing.
Yes, this was the developer meetup sponsored by Intel and co-organized by our friends at Hackster as well. It was a extremely fun time at a very cool bar with that really cool. You can't see the camera setup there, but were there like 8 or 10 DSLRs lined up to make that effect happen. It was really neat.
seven.
It was fun. 7. There we
Seven,
go.
yeah, seven. So and the day two, so we have also a great interaction with Greg, our CTO, talking about the open source community, how Intel is working with the open source community. That was
Hmm.
great, and also have the possibility to make some press things for with Intel Geti and talk with the winners of the hackathon. That is also part, the um, of the story. How I can continue making these kind of things. How can I improve the life of different people that will be involved in hackathons and competitions. That was
Yeah.
great. And at the end, just participated with. I was. I knew. I met Alex for
Hmm.
Hackster, and also making this workshop in Hacker Dojo. That was a great experience.
It's awesome.
So the future, how what kind of things I can see in my future? As I told you, I always see the half full glass. So I really want to work more for AI for everyone, AI for everywhere, woman in AI, woman in tech, Latin X in AI,
Hmm.
AI in the industry, real use cases, and AI and sustainability. I think that we have a lot of things to do here. And this is also happening because of you. Because of OpenCV. OpenCV opened the doors to me to participate in these competitions. I bring, ideas, work, but you opened the door. And I really want to say thank you, OpenCV and in your community. You are
Thank you.
Thank
making
you.
a great job.
Thank you for participating. That's awesome. The submissions were awesome. Even the first time around, the submission was awesome, but we could not award you because we had this rule in place. But women in AI, that's very important. In fact, many people may not know that OpenCV.ai, which is the consulting arm of OpenCV, the CTO, it's not other roles, right? The CTO is Anna Petrovicheva,
Hmm.
who is obviously a woman, right? Is she leads all the technical development, and even among the founders, there are two women, and they're both technical, right?
Hmm.
So it's heartwarming to see women coming into the AI community and having that impact in very high places, right? We're going to break the ceiling. So it's heartwarming to see so many women interested in AI.
Absolutely. Could not agree more. Yeah, yeah, and
Uh,
these events were really fun. So let's see. You got more slides, Paula?
No, that is my
No,
life
you're
side.
you're
So
done.
you
All
are
right.
here. I want to see that. I want to show you.
I appreciate it. Yeah, uh, pro wrestling is a thing that is a big part of who I am as a person, and so I had to teach Paula how to do the too sweet hand gesture, which is, you know,
This
if you
way.
see me walk up to you and say "too sweet me, bro," it's just I want you to do is that.
This way.
um, we got some questions here, but you know what we haven't we got
there is one
we got
announcement. If we can actually
yeah,
do
please.
that, Phil. Well,
Yep.
Kevin Hartman is here also in the audience. He's leading.
Hmm.
He actually brought us this idea that we are doing right now for the scavenger hunt. The
Yes,
first
indeed.
week is almost over, but it's not completely over. Every week, every Monday of October, we are doing this scavenger hunt. You basically get an image, and then you run Intel's. You run some models, OpenVINO models on this image, and you crack some clues, right? We will give you some clues, and you have to find the answer to that, whatever prompt that generated that image. How stable diffusion and other diffusion models, they are becoming very popular, where you write a prompt and it produces the image. So we have hidden the prompt. You don't know what prompt was used to create one image. So we give you the image, but if you run these models, Intel OpenVINO models, they will give you clues what the prompt could be. So it's a very interesting, competition. There are prizes also, $6,000 in prizes, but the most that it is uh, one of a kind competition that we came up with. Very interesting, and it is not just the
Definitely.
same old, we have an AI competition. This requires some creativity. It is a lot of fun, and every Monday we are going to do it. Uh,
Yes. So I
Anything
just
more
brought
you
up
would
the
like
screen
to add?
share.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about this. I just brought up the screen share. For some reason, the full screen one is not working. One moment. Overlay screen share. All right. Let's see if the overlay's up. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
So this is the webpage. You can get there by going to opencv.org/hunt. There are weekly prizes, with Satya just discussed. The way this works is every Monday in October, well, 4 of the 5 Mondays in October. Technically, October
Oh, there are 5
31st is a
Mondays in
Monday.
October.
Technically, October 31st is a Monday, but we're not counting that one.
We are not counting that
Week
one.
one's puzzle is right here. So your goal is to guess the prompt I used to generate this AI generated image by using 2 OpenVINO notebooks. We've got the links right here, and 2 other media clues. It could be an image, it could be a video, it could be 2 videos, 2 images. You can only get those clues by signing up to play, and we'll send you an email with those clues. If you sign up right now, you'll get that email. You've got until we're actually going to give you until Sunday night to submit your answer. You have a very good opportunity right now in terms of the number of submissions. I feel like I made the first one a little bit too hard. But please get those submissions in, and you have the chance to win $125 this week. Also, if you answer correctly, you'll be entered in the $500 drawing at the end of the competition. If you answer this one correctly and the next 3 weeks correctly, you'll be entered in a $3,000 drawing. So, we're using serious folding money here. So go check out OpenVINO and run those models. It probably only take you maybe half an hour, and you could win $125, $500, $3,000. So get at it.
And
Another thing
if
we've got. Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
well, if I just want to make sure that people understand that because it's a prompt, you may not get exactly right. So we are going to pick the closest one. If we think that it is
Exactly.
close enough, we will add you to the drawing. Yeah.
Unless somebody gets it perfect. So we'll also have some leaderboards on here coming up, and we'll be contacting folks who submit answers that we count as correct, just to see their thoughts on the contest and things like that. And of course, this is all powered by the OpenVINO toolkit. There's one more thing I want to talk about here before we talk about cat names, which is our friends at Hackster are doing the Hackster Impact Summit, October 11th and 12th. It's a virtual event. You can register, and they've got some great keynote speakers here. It's something we've talked about on the show a bunch, and even just here today about sustainability and using less and reusing more, and also how you can use those principles in your work, no matter what that work may be. So please go check it out. You can find that events.hackster.io.
Great. There's a question from Philip. Actually, there's a question. How can I contact to get info
Philip,
form?
From no, I mean, so if you confirm your email, it should just pop in there. Philip, if you haven't gotten it, send an email to Phil at OpenCV, and I'll make sure that you get the drop for that week. Michael would like to know how many submissions per participant. Michael, the way this is going to work is we will count the most recent submission you send. You can submit as many times as you want, but we're only going to count the last one you sent, so that way you can't kind of spam and win.
Right. One other question about the other competition we are running, the OpenCV AI competition right now.
Pop it open.
When will the first round winners be declared?
Yes.
I think Sammy asked that question.
We are so we will announce the phase 1 winners of the spatial AI track of OpenCV AI competition 2022 on Monday, We will be emailing these winners starting today. So watch your email Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll get in touch with you and then announce it publicly on Monday. At least that's the current plan. So best of luck to everyone out there. There's a lot of great submissions, and we're really excited for you to be able to start building. We've got some cat names to go over. And there's our buddy. So yeah, Tim suggested the name Meowch, a portmanteau of meow and ouch, because Tim's cat meows when it wants attention, and that usually means the claws are going to come out. So I like that one. There's also, I believe it's kapu, which is somebody suggested, which is apparently the Hawaiian word that stands for the system of laws that govern how folks should live, which is really interesting. Kapu. Also, another along the same line, somebody in the chat suggested the word kaput, which is a German word that means broken. It's very funny. Several people suggested pixel. I think it's not a bad suggestion, but stop suggesting it. We've got like 4 of them. Somebody suggested ka-ching, which is the sound of a cash register, but also it's what cats do with mice. Very funny. Royland suggested Symmetra, which is the name Artemis backwards. NASA recently launched the rocket Artemis, and came up with the name Symmetra. Symmetra is not bad. I like it. Good suggestion, Royland. Zach in the chat here suggests CV, SEEVEE. Not a bad name, not a bad one. Martin in the chat also suggests server fault. Not bad. Seg would be a good name, short for segment fault. Yeah, or overflow the cat, buffer overflow. Yeah. I think that's about it. That's all we got for cat names. Please send your suggestions for our tragically, as of yet, unnamed cat friend to newsletter@opencv.org. Satya, ready to take us home?
Yeah, thank you so much, Paula. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Absolutely,
And
it was.
Your story was awesome. I learned a lot about your background, some of which I was missing. But this is awesome. I mean, think about it. In the last 2.5, 3 years, you won competitions. You were in Forbes. You got a job at Intel. I mean, it's really nice.
Big part of
It's
this
really
Geti launch. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity to share with you and the community my journey. I hope to bring more stuff in the future. I really enjoy create this kind of content, and I'm really happy that you are doing this for the community.
Thank
There
you.
is there are a lot of people there that they need the guideline to make decisions to see what is the next step in their career. Competitions,
yeah,
hackathons, these kind of things
right.
are really, really good.
Right. And I see your
And really,
drive. I see
really,
your drive. And I think that we'll hear from you again and again in the future. So that's great.
thank you, Satya.
Uh,
Thank you, Phil, for having me here.
Thank you.
Thanks. I also want to thank Phil for, as always, organizing this webinar. And
Aw,
I want to
shucks.
thank. And I want to thank our audience for sticking around. Sometimes we go,
Yes.
over time, but thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
It keeps us motivated. And as always, we'll see you next week.
We will. Next Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel, with our friends from Seed Studio. You'll know them from their huge list of hardware offerings, including edge devices and things like that. Really looking forward to that. It'll be the first time they're joining us. I think they'll probably have a couple episodes in the future as well. So we will see you then. Take care of yourselves out there. Take care of somebody else if you can, and have a great week wherever you may be. Thanks, everybody. This was really fun. Thanks a lot, Paula. You're the best.
Thank you.
We'll definitely have to have you back for, at the very least, for a dedicated episode on Geti. I'm really interested in what you got going on there.
Sure, Phil. We will do that.
All right.
Awesome.
Take care.
Yeah, as they say, vaya con Dios.
All right. Bye.
Thanks so much for watching this episode of the webinar. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to tap the little bell icon to be notified when new episodes drop. This week's episode was brought to you by OpenCV Courses. Learn computer vision and AI from the best at opencv.org/courses. If you'd like to be in the audience next week, subscribe to the OpenCV newsletter.